And good day to you. So this may be a little bit of a video blog slash reaction. So I ended up talking to somebody in the conversation, in the comments field of my last video, and I really enjoyed it, and I learned a lot, and thank you for that. But I also felt that I hadn't really possibly explained very well why I was doing the test that I was doing. And it's not that I disagreed with anything they were saying, they were completely right. And the crux of what they were saying, apart from maybe the grade code part, was largely the vanishing gradient problem is solved by neural evolution. That if you evolve everything, including the connections of the neural network, you solve the problem. And I kind of don't disagree, but I was doing this test because I really wanted to work out if there was some way with my maths of doing this in a different way. And this was a test of something that I in my head I went, well, I could do it this way, and I don't want to tell you how I did it right at this point, and see the results. And I guess my point of my video was to show, well, actually that kind of looks like it works. And this is what you've got as the output for my. If you've seen some of my previous videos, one of them had a stock trading algorithm that was basically trying different versions via a genetic algorithm. It was my first stab at neural evolution, but haven't really got into doing proper neural evolution for the connections. And this is the combination of two. And I think, looking at the numbers, apart from the warnings where it's had a little bit of a overflow problem, and I know why, and I don't really care, because when it has an overflow problem, that particular neural network just dies and doesn't get passed on to the future, so it doesn't really matter to me. But anyway, I'm digressing. I really, this sort of seemed to work. Whatever, like this sort of test I was doing, helped me. So, and I kind of, sort of came up with just a bit of an explanation that I get that, like, neat out operates at hundreds of neurons, and hyperneat works on thousands. And I'm only doing this on the basis of a packed book rather than like a full researched position. So, I mean, if you whatever you're going to say or respond to this, you probably have some very good points. But I guess that where I was coming is, I guess that's enough for real life problems. But the other thing that we talk about AI doing is imitate intelligence. And when I just look at the scale of a human brain, the number of neurons, the thousands of connections, and all that stuff, I'm just blown away. So my kind of sort of organising my response was, I still, you've got a really good point in in talking about neural evolution as having solved all this, but I guess I feel that somebody still has to solve working out what you do about vanishing gradient if it's to continue scaling up into bigger and bigger neural networks, because otherwise you will have proliferation of lots of narrow AI, but not any general AI. And I don't know, maybe that's what is fine, but it's just sort of maybe worth a consideration on that if what the direction of technology is, and also talking about it as a video for that does seem to be the direction of our current technology. And I do think that maybe we need to communicate that to average people who might be a little bit worried and scared about their jobs, and to sort of say, well, you might be worried about AI, but it's not these big, huge, super intelligent machines that you see in Terminator. It's this. So I guess that was the point of my previous video, and I think I didn't really do it very well. But I guess that's what I'm trying to get at. That I get what you're saying about neuroevolution. I'm still not at the point where I can code one. And when I say that I can't code one, I do mean that, like, I like to do these things to actually code one and do the maths. So when I say I've done a neural network and it does this, I mean that I've written the whole thing, and I'm not using, PyTorch or something in the background. And mainly I'm doing it to learn the maths myself. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you find that helpful. It's not really a lesson, it's sort of more of a continuation of the previous video, and I don't really consider myself teaching people or doing anything other than sharing. So hopefully that's good. Thanks, have a good day, bye.